assassination of Dr. King. And many of you older folks could remember that the National Guard was patrolling the streets of Wilmington, and they did it a bit too long.
They kept that guard on the streets for like 8 hours, 24 hours, maybe even 48 hours. But to keep them on the streets for 9.5 months, every night driving through the black neighborhoods, was strictly outrageous.
We have remarks by Kester.
I'm honored to have been selected to say some things about Judge Leonard Williams. He's Leonard L. Williams, an honored graduate of the Howard High School, the University of Delaware, and the Georgetown Law School. As Beatrice said, Judge Williams was the fifth African American to be inducted into the Delaware Bar. The first, of course, was our hero and our godfather, the great Louis L. Redding. And so there's a whole history of civil rights, civil litigation. That could be just another special day. So understand that that has happened. Judge Williams was quite a character. He was a very outgoing and a confident persona. He walked around Wilmington and up and down King Street and in the courthouse as if he owned it. And it appears that he doesn't, because I have heard that in a short time, the courthouse will be named That also gives me an opportunity to give credit to a young man that pulled this off. And this is a fellow member of the bar, Samuel Guy. Forethought outsmarted a number of smart people, and we will have this courthouse named after the Honorable Leonard L. Williams. So Wilmington is unique. We have the courthouse named after Judge Williams. We have the city council building named after Louis L. Redding. Now, many of you know his work as a municipal court judge. I am informed in that position he frequently had to take the time to remind police officers and prosecutors that when they spoke to black women witnesses, that you don't call them Alice, you call her Miss Jones, Miss Jackson. And that's something that you could see Judge Williams doing that, because that was his job, to correct people and make sure that you treated these witnesses with dignity and respect. He also worked during those years on the bench to help eliminate something that seems to be epidemic in America, and that is police brutality. In that if there was a case where a young man was injured and you present your case, Judge Williams thought nothing of asking him about it. How did that happen? Of course, if the person told the truth, the officer who perhaps did this would be a bit embarrassed and understand that this is not to happen. One particularly challenging period of his judicial career occurred in the 1968 through 70 period. During that time, there was a civil unrest that happened in the city of Wilmington after the assassination of Dr. King. And many of you older folks could remember that the National Guard was patrolling the streets of Wilmington, and they did it a bit too long. Judge Williams had a good relationship with the then governor, Terry, but he called the governor out and let him know, this is ridiculous that you're keeping police here in the city of Wilmington. They're also, the National Guard and the police were also arresting a number of young men. And you know who they were arresting? They were arresting people that looked like me and you. When they came to municipal court, Judge Williams, to make sure that it was fair and impartial, he would get these people released. So somehow, and I'm reading in some of his documents, that the prosecutors and some folks got smart. They were not sending any of these defendants through Judge Williams' court. Now you can understand what happened when Judge Williams discovered that. He corrected that, and those of you who know him well could imagine the tone and volume and language that he used, as he was known to use a few curse words now and then.
I was coming back in town here, and you could see smoke rising from this West Center City area.
If that's what it took, to get response, to what we wanted, then that's what we had to do. And if burning was the way to do it, then that's the way it had to be done.
They wanted to set their house on fire. At that time, I felt let it burn.
Some blacks argue that Holloway, without it, we wouldn't have gotten the white folks' attention. I don't think it was worth it. I don't think it was worth it.
It might have been our neighborhood, but it wasn't our stores. We didn't own it. We didn't have no say-so of what was going on. And we were just striking back.
The Guard remains in Wilmington, though forces have been removed in every other city.
People won't say it now, won't admit it, but a lot of white folks felt very comfortable seeing the Guard out every day.
Judge Williams prided himself on being a hard-driving and effective civil litigator. Because of his presence on the bench, he wasn't allowed to do criminal cases, so he really developed his civil practice, and he did that quite well. He also did, as Beatrice said, about real estate. If you go into our office now, there are so many corporations that he has helped establish, so many businessmen that he has helped